What's up, guys? So recently the Hype House released their new show on Netflix, and I painstakingly watched the whole thing. Now, I wouldn't recommend this, but after I saw they got a 2.3, I knew I had to. Basically, it's this reality show type series that follows around the Hype House and a bunch of its members. And when I was done watching it, I gave it an honest 4.5. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't a 2.3. A 2.3 is like Kumba.
Who dares pass through the crags of death?
But the reason I gave it a 4.5 was because I was only able to watch 4.5 episodes before I came to my senses. Throughout the whole show, you basically learn to love everyone who is the least associated with the Hype House. Like going into this, I hated all of them, from Petroleum Jelly all the way down to the ones we don't know. But by the end of the show, Lil Huddy had become my favorite character. Person. Even the guys who I talk shit about the most slowly started to gain my liking as the show went on, and only further explain why everyone eventually leaves the Hype House. I am going to only be going over the first 4 episodes because, like I said, after that it's just like, how come we don't film content for the house? And they're like, because they want us to drink Bang energy and I want to live into my 30s. Bang tastes like fruit that's been farted on and then left to soak in Diet Mountain Dew. But just so you know what we're getting into, the first 4 episodes are called A Hype House Divided, Love and Social Media, Low Key Beefing, and then POV Fake Wedding. I'll probably say a few things about the other 4, but there's actually a specific reason that I lost interest halfway through, and it has nothing to do with them being TikTokers. If anything, they should have had more TikTokers on the show, because I have no idea who the fuck any of these people are. I forgot what episode, but Sienna May is there, and not once is that told to us. We get introduced to Nikita's makeup artist, who's in there for all of 2 minutes like we actually care. And look what he's wearing. There are literal kids watching this. Put that shit away, bruh. But in the first episode, and basically a main theme throughout the entire show, is them trying to figure out if Lil Huddy is in the Hype House or is he out.
I think that it would damage the brand. So I need to know if Chase is even going to be a part of this anymore.
At least 3 times an episode, they ask, is Chase coming? Where's Chase? Did you invite Chase? Man, I wish Chase was here. And then it cuts to Chase at a photo shoot like, Hype House who? Yeah. What? The rest of the episode is just a long introduction about everything we already know. One thing that stood out to me was that Alex says he spends around $70,000 a month for his videos.
I spend on my YouTube videos alone anywhere between $50,000 to $70,000 a month.
And if you just pick some random videos, like these ones, nowhere throughout any of them could he even lie to say he spent $70,000 on something. Like this video that actually lines up with the show.
You need to be very quiet because if you would upset it, I don't want you getting hurt.
You can Google Saving Wildlife International and see that they only charge around $400. Nowhere near the amount he says. And his other videos that came out this month have so little money spent, if any, that I could make the video. I spent more money making my own McDonald's meal than he spent in his whole month of filming. Another thing that Alex said that had me confused is when he was talking about his childhood and how he slept in cars. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe him, but when he tells us that him and his girlfriend slept in a car after he told her to fly out from her home in Hawaii.
Long distance relationships are hard, and my girlfriend lives in Hawaii. We came to the decision that
thought it was best to move out here.
That's when I found out you're the kind of person who eats after he lies. In this Forbes interview he gave, he says that the cars he was sleeping in weren't even his, and he expects us to believe that's how him and his girlfriend spent their days? In friends' cars? I've seen crackheads with better sleeping arrangements. Not to mention, it's not his car. Who's letting their friends live in the back of their car? That's... You have a house. But that was episode 1. The highlights, if you want, were Vinny trying to sumo wrestle for all of 30 seconds, and then Nikita thinking she can actually play basketball in whatever the this is.
oh she's in Dragon Mode.
For episode 2, they start off by letting us know that 3 months earlier, Chase was looking for a house without any of them knowing.
A month ago, he sat in a meeting and said, I'm moving in with you guys 100%, and then secretly looked for houses without telling anyone.
And it's like, leave him alone. This is what started to get me to like Chase even more. Dude's literally trying to live his own life, and Thomas wants him to stop that so he can film this Bang commercial so they don't get evicted. He says multiple times that this house is paid for by brand deals, and it's like, you know, Alex is spending $70,000 a month on videos? That's a lot of rent money going towards... We're pregnant for 24 hours.
No, imagine Culver's your daughter and I'm a boyfriend and you're the dad. Walk in.
Something really funny about this episode is how awkward they make it when Charlie shows up. She's not on there much, but the time she is shown, I can literally feel her pain.
Did you post 3 TikToks today?
How many TikToks did you post?
She didn't post today.
Did you finish your homework? No. Chef, no dessert for Charlie. She did not finish her homework.
Damn, bro, he keeps calling me. Oh, no.
Look at her face, dude. She's about to punch his cracker teeth in. I don't even know what he did. I might have to make that my profile picture on Instagram, though. And that's just the first time. Here's the second and last time Charlie appears on the show.
Because we're... course, you guys.
Yeah.
But why are you over here? And she's over there.
Nikita acts like she doesn't already know everyone's business. She would know the last time someone took a shit if that meant she can bring it up. I would just be like, are you a boy? Because if she went like, how come you're there? And I would do that. We also see Alex spend $700 on a gyroscope, not knowing that if you're not going to space, it's nothing more than a human torture device.
You gotta use your body weight.
Did you hear when it hit his head? That sounds like a cartoon hitting an anvil. And then to end the episode, Nikita gets blamed for letting someone come to a party with COVID, and then Thomas gets mad that he wasn't invited to the party where someone was invited with COVID. That's the kind of show this is. In episode 3, we learn that Thomas wants Chase to post more content for them so they can make money for their house.
We make $80,000 a month, and that goes towards the rent. Like, Alex, if I tell him to shoot a bang video, he'll do it.
Anywhere between $50,000 to $70,000 a month.
I can see why Chase wants to move out. He's on to bigger and better things, and Thomas is like, yeah, can you do that with a bang in your hand and say how much you love the product? Like, first it was Avani, then Charlie, then Dixie, then Addison, now Chase. And who are you going to be left with? Vinny? This episode also made me realize that I now hate this guy named Michael the most. Throughout the show, you can just tell he's trying to snake his way through the top any way he can. Like, Thomas would ask a question, and then he would just throw everyone under the bus.
Every time I ask, even if I come up nice, hey, you want to film this? Everyone's like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like, it's frustrating.
Or like they'd be going out to eat, and then he'd call someone out who isn't even there to defend themselves.
I don't know, dude. Vinny's been... He just doesn't do much.
And you can tell he's just jealous because he's not as popular as everyone else and actually has to work for his spot, or else he'll get kicked out while Vinny just sits there shirtless and becomes more popular than he'll ever be. On another note, these two have shown me that they're not as bad as I thought they were in comparison to the other members. To end the episode, Lil Huddy gets sick and is told to not talk for 5 days, and like a child, instead of saying, I can't talk for 5 days, holds up a paper that looks like it was written by a bully from a Disney movie. For episode 4, Vinny finally calls out Michael for what he said, and I don't know if Michael expects Vinny to square up, but he's standing there like he wants to be sucker punched.
Nikita told me about the dinner. Yeah.
Notice how he doesn't move though? He wants Vinny to come over there and knock his fucking teeth out so he has an excuse to say he wants him out. And I mean, when you look at him compared to Vinny, I do anything I can for attention too. There's a reason Vinny's on the cover and you're not. Now earlier I said there was a specific reason I lost interest halfway through episode 4, and it happens when they show Larry talking to his friend. I don't remember what they were talking about, but all I remember is Larry being like,
only person I know who wears a robe. How do you spell robe? R-O-B, right? O-E.
What?
That's Rob.
Now I can deal with them having the mansion and the cars and the money, but when you show me that you wouldn't even last one round on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader, that's when you should be evicted. I was fine with them doing whatever, because I assumed that they were smart kids. Like, in the back of my head, I thought that if they really wanted to respond to one of my videos, they could make me look like an idiot. But now I know that's impossible. It's not like he asked him how to explain evolution or how the pyramids were built. He said, how do you spell robe? And said R-O-B. Like, I knew there was a reason I didn't like these guys, and it's because they'd rather not know how to spell robe so long as they have their followers. And it might not seem like a big deal, but they're not doing anything to better that. But after I heard that, I even wrote in my notes, done review. Like, done. Because I wasn't going to put any more brain power into the show when it was obvious they didn't. If you do want to know what happens in episode 5, Cover tells Alex not to buy a car when he apparently already spends $70,000 a month on a video.
Promise me you're not going to buy a car right now.
I'm not gonna buy a car right now.
In episode 6, Thomas tries to do something nice for everyone by taking them to a glorified trailer park, but ends up being brought to tears after Larry's like,
I literally lost 10 brain cells from this conversation.
Now
Wow,
I just
that's
like
rude.
I've just been through so much.
In episode 7, we find out that in episode 6, Sienna May was with them, but they decided not to show her. And in episode 8, we find out that Thomas has to shut down the Hype House because he's left with Vinny, as everyone else important has left the house. All in all, like I said, it was a solid 4.5 out of 10. I read some reviews that said Larry and Nikita make it watchable, and at no point is that statement true. They're the most annoying, but they don't make it watchable. Something that would have made it watchable is if they added fake situations for these guys to get in. I know you don't really want that in a reality show, but these guys are just so boring. Like, if I think back right now, the most exciting part was when the two cars crash into each other. And again, that was like 20 seconds into the first episode, and then they never do something like that again. Yeah, guys, that was my review on the Hype House TV show. Hopefully I went over enough of it to where you don't have to watch it, but it's on Netflix. I'm not going to tell you what not to do. Thank you, G, again for the video idea. I wouldn't have known this came out unless you told me. Here's her Twitch again. You guys should go check it out. See you guys next week, or maybe a little longer, depending on what I decide to do. Peace.